Hi besties, it's Katie from Without A. Crystal v. OK. Kody and Robyn basically got kicked out of the family according to Kody because they showed PDA in front of Janelle and Mary, and it got everyone angry, and I kept thinking to myself, when was a time they were all together, literally where they would have been in the same room with Mary and Janelle, literally where it would have caused problems literally with the whole family. And I thought, oh, was Kody getting frisky with Miss Robyn at the funeral of his son Garrison? I mean, he did have his hand on her leg, and it was kind of weird, okay, but there was a conversation here about PDA, and what I've learned about this family over the years is that none of these women or Kody could handle PDA well. At least the women couldn't, because if they were in a bad place with Kody, they didn't want to see him being intimate or handsy with another lady in front of them. And when all of this was being discussed, I kept thinking, Suki, why don't you ask them that if you're in a consensual marriage where everyone wants to live this way, why can't you handle if another woman is getting a kiss from their husband, if you know that that's their husband too? Is it just because of you and you don't want to be there and you're so miserable? I don't know, but in a world where you're supposed to be, and this is why I've said all along these marriages were not consensual, because this is not a system polygamy based on consent, it's based on coercion. It's based on a woman has to marry a man with a million wives in order to get to heaven, and that she is supposed to just stick to being the vessel of babies that she brings down from heaven, the spirit babies, and then to build his kingdom, and she's really not there for anything more than that. And so ultimately the women have to accept that that's their role, and it's unfair, and it's coercive, and it's manipulative, and then oftentimes they're placed in marriages, and Kody has all but said that he felt like Kody and Christine's marriage was basically a arranged marriage, no attraction on his end. And that happens all the time in polygamy, by the way, and he wouldn't have married some of these women had he not needed at least 3 to get into heaven. And then he finally got his diesel gene model, is what he refers to with Robyn. And he has said that he views her as sort of a mark of his success because she's so beautiful in his eyes, but the fact that the women were so in a bad place with him even before Robyn came along, and then they went on to a show to promote polygamy, just tells you about the symptom of the bigger problem with the premise of this entire show. They pitched a story to TLC that was based upon a lie from day one, because Mary was considering leaving Kody right as the show was going to air. She and Kody were on the verge of a split in 2008 and in 2009, at the same time that Robyn was brought into the family. She considered leaving. They had to go into counseling, and Janelle had previously left Kody for 5 years and only returned back to Kody in 2006, and then even after she returned, their relationship was a mess, and Christine said that even before Robyn came along, their marriage was a mess. So technically speaking, all of the women were unhappy with Kody when they went on to a show to claim that they were happy, and this is what you should do, and this is polygamy, and this is the best, right? And I think I wish that there could be an interview with at least someone that's hard-hitting, and maybe we'll get this when Christine actually writes her book, which is coming out in a couple months, where they talk about the lies, all of the lies that we've been told, all of the misery they endured. Because right now, under the premise of sister wives, we're never going to get the real story, because even now the women are guarding what they say, because they're on a show with a man that basically abused them along with his wife, that financially destroyed them, and until they can get away from Kody and have a platform where he doesn't get to say whatever he wants and lie, and they don't have a contract with TLC, and worrying about whether or not it's going to ruin the show. Truthfully, there's not going to be full transparency, but when it comes to PDA, what I find the most bizarre here is that they all seem to have a different reason for why PDA wasn't allowed, and which is fine, but Christine and David's relationship, they kissed a lot, obviously, and because they kissed a lot of this was something for everyone on the show. And you know they not everyone wanted to watch it. The kids didn't want to see it. And if the kids didn't grow up seeing their parents be affectionate, it might seem weird. And the idea of Kody and Robyn even kissing today apparently still bothers Mary because she said that. It feels like they're throwing it in her face, because I feel like now it's almost like I'm throwing it in your face, and I don't like that. Don't throw it in my face, just be you. Love her the best that you can, don't be
a jerk to me about it.
It was family rules or family culture. That was already there before I came along. It was like no, like, you know, affection, and no like sweet talk, and no sweet like looks across the room. It just was like it was really weird. I wonder when Mary would have seen them throwing it in her face. I don't know when this would have happened. I mean, outside of what we've seen on the show where Mary had gone to their house for Christmas, and then when she told them she was moving, they weren't overly affectionate with one another at all. The only time I've seen the two of them touch each other is the photographs from Garrison's funeral, and I don't know if Mary's seen Kody and Robyn outside of that. I really don't know, and if she believes that they're doing it to throw it in her face, does that mean that Mary is still upset about her divorce, that she's still feeling like a level of frustration or anger towards them? I mean, and that would be totally fine if you don't want to see it, but if you made the choice to leave, in my eyes, you're sort of making a choice to walk away, right? And so Kody and Robyn being together and being affectionate, if they're married, they're allowed to do that now, right? I guess in that respect, I don't understand Mary's frustration there, but this is like a huge family dynamic that spans, 3 decades between Kody and Mary, so I really don't know, and I don't know, maybe they really were intentionally throwing it in her face. After years of hiding it, maybe now Kody is going out of his way to show other people, and that could be very well true. I could completely see Kody behaving in that way, and on the flip side with Robyn, it's pretty easy for Robyn to come into a situation where there's already an established culture and complicated dynamic between women to find it weird that they don't touch and they don't do things. But when she agreed to join the family, she agreed to mesh with the family, and Robyn went on to tell Suki that there were wives that basically told her, you need to conform to this. This is our culture. And that's the truth, like you didn't have a voice or say in the family. Oh, I was told I didn't have a say. I was told that I needed to conform to what they were doing, cause I was trying really hard not to, rock the boat too. But can you share who told you that? Not I'll I just rather not point fingers. They didn't marry Robyn so Robyn could change the culture. They had an already established family, and she was supposed to fit in, and that meant she needed to compromise, and Robyn in this world doesn't have any more rights than any other women at all. She knew full well walking into that family that she had no rights, she wasn't a legal wife, and that her job in the cult was to just be a vessel for Kody, to get him to heaven, that's it. And so her rocking the boat, maybe that changed dynamics, her unwillingness to accept it, her desire to have more control. I think that's a huge part of the dynamics here. But blaming the other women when this is what you signed up for, Robyn, I don't buy it. That just tells me that you didn't want this. You didn't. That's my opinion. I will also say that Robyn did not come in and conform at all. She was the one that started changing rules from day one, keeping secrets from everyone, doing things that were sneaky and underhanded, demanding time with Kody that wasn't necessarily her right to have, getting a 4th day when they weren't even married, and having him visit her on Weekends taking time away from the whole family. She just made a lot of changes right off the bat, and she tried to will the family into her, so I don't buy that she's the victim here. The last time Robyn and I showed PDA with the family, we got kicked out. You got kicked out. I'm not going there. Yeah, they with us bad. And boy, it cost me dearly. Explain. I don't even know what you're talking about. It's a story that just cannot be told. Oh yeah, it's just there's something so vitally detrimental to your life you're just not going to talk about it. Is it reset? Or is it that's just an unparalleled? Now here's my take on this, because Kody is a narcissist and he has a tendency to deflect. Go with me on this, but we know that he just said the last time that Robyn and I showed PDA in front of the family, we were kicked out. Okay, so the last time they all saw each other was the funeral. The last time they were all together as a family was Garrison's funeral, and not only the funeral but the memorial service for the National Guard in Las Vegas. During the funeral or the memorial service for the National Guard, Kody had his arm around her, he had his leg on her, he seemed very focused on Robyn, and even at the funeral where they buried him, Garrison Kody did not at all extend any love towards his children. He didn't reach out, try to hug them, anything like that. Instead, he stayed very close to Robyn, and even when his son Logan tried to help him out from the grave where he placed the urn in the ground, Kody shoved him off. Basically, I'm not showing any of the content from that day, but it was very clear that Kody wanted nothing to do with the family, and there were conversations by McKeely that the way that Kody and Robyn acted during the funeral and proceeding did not align with what they believed they should be doing, and that things had happened that had made people upset, and that kids were very mad at him and distant from him because of what happened at the funeral. So if the last time he showed physical affection in front of Robyn PDA, it would have been at the funeral or one of the memorial services, and it would have been an inappropriate time for Kody to be showing any sort of PDA, and it was also an inappropriate place for Robyn to be. So what I think could have happened here, and we know that they showed up and they were told not to film, and we know that they didn't show the footage from the what happened at the Nevada National Guard, thank God, but they did show what happened in Wyoming, and we also know that Kody and Robyn were asked not to come, and they showed up anyway, right? So if you already are not welcome in a place, right, and you show up anyway, wouldn't it be easier for Kody to then deflect and say the reason why they're mad is because I showed PDA to Robyn and they kicked us out of the family?
But
perhaps the truth is that, hear me out on this, showing up at all, being with Robyn at all, and Robyn being there at all, and then behaving the way that they did, and acting how they acted, and not taking accountability, not taking responsibility, really not doing anything other than making Garrison's death an episode for a show, right? And not walking the walk, or he talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. He's not showing that he actually cares about his children. He's not showing that he cares about what happened. He's just making it into content for the show. And that was something that the siblings were adamant they did not want. And again, because of Garrison's feelings about Robyn, he did not want Robyn there. And because of Garrison's feelings about Kody, he would not have wanted his dad there. But because Kody is the quote-unquote father, he was allowed to be there against their wishes, at least for some of the kids. So instead of taking ownership for what he did by not respecting the boundaries, right, or respecting the wishes of the man that passed away, he defied that person's wishes by bringing his wife, knowing full well it would cause a problem. But Kody twists that into, well, they kicked me out of the family because Robyn and I showed affection, and it's so traumatic that I can't even talk about
it.
Well, Kody brought it up and he said the last time. It wasn't like Kody and Robyn were making PDA spectacles in front of everyone for years. The last time implies the last time you saw them, the last time you were in the presence of them. Because you said after you did that you were kicked out of the family, and we know after Garrison died some of the kids said that there would be nothing that Kody could do to repair the relationships with his children, that Kody and Robyn had acted in such a way during that process and at the funeral that bonds were broken for good, like there would be no possibility of any kind of reconciliation based on their behavior, but he doesn't want to make it about their behavior, so instead he's making it about, well, the family couldn't handle that I was there with Robyn, and the family couldn't handle that I have a wife, and we were just being a loving couple, and they just got so mad because they're so jealous about us. They just want to be like us. I mean, Kody went as far in this tell all to say that Christine is still jealous of Robyn. She's not. Christine is still comparing her life to Robyn. She's not. He said that Janelle and Mary can't even see him be affectionate with anyone, and he will never be affectionate with Robyn around Janelle and Mary until they get married. What the hell does that even mean? Like, come on, Kody, just take responsibility for what you did when it comes to the funeral and the spectacle you made, and the lack of, compassion and boundaries, and the lack of your care or concern about the children that were hurt as a product of this. But I mean, he'll never take accountability. He'll just deflect it, and he'll say, well, they kicked us out 'cause we showed affection. No, they kicked you out because you weren't wanted there, and you didn't respect their wishes. But what do I know? That's just my thing, my best guess, and I think they really are blaming that to deflect from their own responsibility and their own ego and protect their fragile sense of self. But that's my opinion, so what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.